Hi, I'm Matt Shaw. I'm a supply chain management major, international business specialization. Last year I went on a study abroad program to Hong Kong, to the City University of Hong Kong. It's kind of funny, I originally decided on Hong Kong. It was, I think my freshman year, I was in macroeconomics and they showed a slide in the beginning of the class and there's two pictures. One was Hong Kong in like the 1950s, very undeveloped. And then one was Hong Kong today, and you have three of the world's 10 tallest skyscrapers there on their skyline. It's very developed, really big changes, and I decided that was somewhere I wanted to go before I died.
I'm Allison Lundvik. I am a finance senior, and I went to John Cabot University in Rome, Italy. I wanted to go to Europe because I felt like there was more places that I could travel around to when I went over there. I wanted something a little more challenging and different, and Italy seemed to be kind of fit that.
Michael Thalen, I'm a finance major. I studied abroad in Argentina for a month, and then Australia for a semester and Mexico for a semester. I had a lot of leeway with credits, and so when I was deciding where I wanted to go, I wasn't as constrained so much with which courses I needed or which requirements I had to cover. So I really did spin a globe and look at which places I really wanted to learn and explore.
I went to the study abroad fair and happened to be someone who went to Hong Kong there, and I decided to chat with them. And a year later, I started planning a trip to Hong Kong.
My name is Sneha Gowd. I'm a supply chain management senior, and I went to Rome, Italy at the American University of Rome spring semester of my junior year. I wanted to be in a big city, and I think there's maybe 3 programs that are offered for semesters. One was in a small city in France, one was in like Finland or something, and then there's one in Rome, and so I wanted to be in the biggest city.
Mexico in particular, I'd been trying to learn Spanish for a long time, and so moving down there and being able to inundate myself in the language, that was something that was very important to me.
One of the things that's really helpful that maybe might be overlooked is your academic advisors.
My name is Chelsea Scubiel. I'm an accounting major and I went to business summer study at Cambridge. I actually found my advisor to be the most helpful because they knew everything. I mean, when you go into business college, they have the lists of every program that you can go to, so I found them the most helpful. They knew what classes I needed, when the programs were going to be, and everything.
Also, a lot of the resources on Global Edge or on the cyber are pretty helpful. You can find out about culture and issues that you might think are kind of like small, and they turn out to be kind of a bigger concept.
An important thing to think about when you're thinking about costs is it matters a lot where you go.
Start saving now. It's very expensive. I spent a lot of money over there, but it's definitely worth it. I say don't hold back on anything when you're over there. Just kind of plan whatever you can because you're only over there for 4 months, and it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
When you consider places like Europe, London, Paris, places where the cost of living is even higher, tuition isn't quite as extreme in some cases, but you're going to be looking at a serious tab. But if you want to see the old world, you're going to have to pay for the currency conversion and things like that. But if you want to go to some places where the dollar goes a lot further, you can actually be saving money while traveling abroad.
I would plan early. Earlier the better. I mean, look at a bunch of different programs as a freshman right away and say this is where I'm thinking about going, and keep your options open.
You'll face a lot of challenges before and even while you're there, and just stick with it. Definitely go if you have the opportunity because it's life-changing. And even while you're there, realize that it's a short experience. It goes by really fast, so just enjoy it. The problems will make great stories to your friends when you come back, and the fun stuff you'll remember forever.
The fears that sometimes are in the very back of your mind, whether it's linguistic fears, cultural fears, fear of separation from your friends, your family, and your support networks. It's amazing how easily it is to meet people when you're somewhere totally new.
There's a couple times where I really felt it, like probably when I first got off the airport. I found the 22E and bus, but I was told it was the 22E, don't get on the 22EF or the 22ED. And there's all these buses going by, and I was like glad I had talked to a student from the university beforehand, after a 14-hour flight, just sitting on the bus and realizing the official languages are Cantonese and English, but in reality, most of the people just speak Cantonese.
People realize that you're a newcomer. I'll always remember, and the first day that I walked into my host family's house in Argentina, I was obviously nervous. Everyone around me, you can tell that you're kind of like you're walking into someone's home for the first time to just move in with these people that you may not be able to speak with very well because it's a different language. And I was terrified of how, how this would go. And when I walked in the door, the first thing the host father did is he walked up, gave me a big hug, and said, "Welcome home," and handed me the keys to the house.
I never really traveled before, so I mean, just going there in general to Cambridge was amazing. I mean, meeting all of these other different people and experiencing everything with them.
In all the places I've traveled, I've climbed ancient pyramids in Mexico.
Probably the coolest thing that I did was when we went to Switzerland. We went to Interlaken, it's in the Swiss Alps, and I went paragliding.
The trips, I think, were probably the best.
I've been to the vineyards in Argentina.
There's like a person strapped to your back and you have like a parachute type thing and you're, flying over the mountains, and it was amazing.
I've scuba dived in the Great Barrier Reef.
There had been this trip that I'd kind of been wanting to go on, and it's to the area of Guilin. It's supposed to, the Chinese say it's the most beautiful part of China. It's in the southern part of China. And there's actually a smaller town near it, Yangzhou. We brought this team together and kind of started planning it. And we got there, and it was kind of a shock when we got there because we arrived at 4:30 in the morning in this town. And they had told us you can get a taxi from the town. And there's these motorcycles with these covered wagon type things on the backs of them, and we were waiting for the taxis. We found out that kind of was the taxis. So we took one of those in and went to this this hotel, and I remember it was $8 a night, most beautiful view you've ever seen. And there's these just rolling mountains and mist everywhere. We wake up in the morning, it's just incredible.
You'll see amazing things that you'll remember forever, but the thing that you find yourself thinking about most often, missing, sometimes daydreaming about, are the people you met and the relationships that you built with people that originally seemed so different that maybe in your first day somewhere you could barely speak in more than 1 or 2 words here and there, trying to remember the few words you can remember of the other person's language. But it's amazing how much you can grow as a person and really appreciate the diversity in the world.